Hello everyone and welcome to Game 3 in a series between Remind and Reprisal here on Turtle Rock. Remind spawning as the Night Elf player here. Meanwhile, excuse me, Reprisal spawning as the Orange Human player here. And this is going to be a very good map positionings for Reprisal. So we'll see what's going to happen. Remind not going to be able to really easily defend any sort of tower rush or tower push here on Turtle Rock, as that is a very common strategy, especially when it is ally spawns and the walking distances are so close. We'll see what will be happening in just a moment. Don't ask me how militia move faster than peasants. That I'm really not quite sure. After somehow picking up armor, picking up swords, adding all that extra weight, the militia run faster than peasants. I don't know, must be very nice to pick up more weight and be able to move even more quickly. Anyways, taking a look into the game, Remind is going into an Ancient of War first, and no Altar of Elders just quite yet. We see that the Altar of Elders now being established, but that means it will be a Tavern Hero, which means it will be delayed. We'll see what Reprisal does when he will scout, and if he does scout, what he decides to do, as he is setting up that double farm off over here, making sure that it's very difficult to try to push inside the space. Also very nice for peasants, as they're able to hide in between this location here and not take any damage from any melee heroes. Footman now making its way out. One Wisp making its way out as well. The scouting direction, he's going to go ahead and check if it is cross spawns first. Meanwhile, the Footman is going to come over here, spot the Archer, and spot the bases, and know where exactly Remind is. Remind has not yet scouted out his opponent, as we are now going to see militia creeping first. So Reprisal hoping and looking to get a lot of experience, at least to level 2, in order to follow up this push very effectively. Dark Ranger is the hero of choice so far. The militia are going to finish this off over here, as now the Archmage makes its way off. Going to call over the more units and now drop a Water Elemental. Dark Ranger, a very good choice, as they will be able to spawn skeletal minions, something that you definitely need in order to fend off a lot of militia, a lot of low hit point units like militia, as the Archmage now gets the level 2, already has Brilliance Aura, and also has Claws of Attack plus 6. So a very nice item, as well as we are now teching the tier 2, so Reprisal not doing the standard tower rush, which is normally common on this map. Peasants now making their way down. Where is this Archmage gonna go, as the Dark Ranger should be able to level up very quickly, also having Slippers of Agility as well, and the Dark Ranger with a lot of archers are able to level up very quickly and even get to Charm. Charm essentially steals one hero unit. We are going into a Blacksmith. I don't think the Riflemen are going to be nearly that effective, as now the Archmage looks to sneak inside this base. How you can sneak in broad daylight, not quite sure, but here we go. Wisp now trying to run away. It looks like it will not be able. No, is he gonna jump inside the gold mine? Yes, a nice thing there, as we now have another healing on the Wisp. So far, a lot of Wisp damage counteracted by those Moonwells, as a low hit point Footman perhaps is going to try to run away. Archers doing a bit of padding as well. The skeletal minions may be a bit too much. Dark Ranger is here. Archmage level 2. We'll see who can get the damage off first, as the Dark Arrow, Black Arrows are dealing a bit of damage to that Archmage there, as we now see a Hunter's Hall being established. Now, farm is being established back over here. Blacksmith is nearing completion. Footman now going to be running away. Perhaps they will be able to creep away from that Archmage and give the Archmage level 3. That's most likely what he's trying to do. Reprisal may be waiting on perhaps the keep in order to get to level... in order to get to the next hero and have 2 heroes in play, as we now have the Archmage looking to come back in and get more damage again. Free damage on units as they are running away. Perhaps those archers are going to eat up even more of those Moonwells, as the skeletal minions are going to fall. Defend has been researched, and now even those archers are going to have some problems, as they are defending against the majority of the attacks, and all these archers are now pretty much for naught. All of those archers cannot attack those Footmen. They end up dealing more damage to themselves, as the Footmen are able to take reduced damage and have a chance of reflecting the arrows back. and taking no damage whatsoever. So that is going to be a huge benefit. As the Archmage now sitting at level 2, we'll see what he tries to do here. Gonna go after the Dark Rangers units once more, and now the units are just simply playing a game of chicken and dance in the center. We are now going into an Arcane Sanctum. Still no additional heroes as of yet, as the Dark Ranger down to 100 and... Sorry, second hero has been pulled. It is the Naga Sea Witch, getting in a lot of cold arrow shots, and we'll see how that's going to work. A Naga Sea Witch being picked up by Remind, but if he's not careful, may end up losing this, as the Archmage now going to go after the Forest Troll, clear out this creep camp, and perhaps even try to go for the Goblet Merchant Shop, getting some very nice items, and we'll see what's going to happen there. We are going into Ancients of Lore. The Riflemen, no upgraded range as of yet. Footmen do have Defend. More damage being dealt. Naga Sea Witch is slowed and now backing off again. We are going into Priest now. It looks like the Riflemen are still being trained. No upgraded range as of yet, as the Dark Ranger not picking up anything, and now attempting to run away, but taking a lot of damage and getting slowed down by that Naga Sea Witch once more. Ancient of Lores. 2 Ancient of Lores still being built. Double Ancient of Lores. We are getting improved bows for those archers to deal more damage. But will it come in time? And how effective will it be? Especially if there is Defend on those Footmen. Naga Sea Witch now taking a bit of damage. Footmen going after the units. Archers, both sides just fighting and engaging. Who is going to be able to take more damage and deal more damage? As a nice Staff of Preservation, saving a low hit point archer. And Remind very much on top of his game, not even allowing a low hit point archer to fall as of yet. Now, Gargantuan Sea Turtle may fall here rather quickly. We'll see. The Footmen are now focusing down the other Giant Sea Turtles as well. The Giant Sea Turtles need to fall. There is Defend on those other Footmen. The Naga Sea Witch being very careful. Meanwhile, Remind not getting the opportunity, not finding his opponent, not going to be able to creep jack, as we now have a potion of greater mana on the Naga Sea Witch. Archmage coming in. He is sitting at level 2, not going to get to level 3. Level 1 on the Naga Sea Witch, just shy of level 2, and that's the worst possible place you want to be. You'd rather be 3-1 or 2-2, not on the border of... not at level 2 and level 1, just on the border there, as the Naga Sea Witch now backs off again. Riflemen, archers, battling it out. Who has the superior range? The Riflemen do have upgraded range. Archers still have improved range at 700, but it is a missile attack as opposed to an instantaneous attack, so we'll see how that works. 1 Footman currently defending, watching this position here. The archers, no auto attack, as both sides, poor Dryad may take a lot of damage. Moonwell quickly comes into play, as both sides are still battling it out. Footmen just doing their job, tanking that damage, and now going to turn back around. Riflemen can't even engage against those Footmen, as the Defend still way too effective. Footmen just on hold position here. We'll see how much damage they will absorb. Backing off, dancing here, as the Ancient of War may end up falling. Wisp are trying to repair it. A second Ancient of War being rebuilt. Yes, and now Ancient of Wars may be the counter to this massive army. Dark Rangers, both sides battling it out. We'll see what's going to happen here. Ancient of War, it looks like, yes, it will be uprooting. It does deal a lot of damage, as this Ancient of War finally turning around and starting to attack. Who is going to come out ahead, as the Ancient of War now down to 400 hit points. No Wisp currently repairing, as the Ancient of Wars are now picking themselves up, and the Footmen are no longer in defend mode. Riflemen, we are now going into tier 2, low upkeep, 2-0 upgrades on those Riflemen. No tech to tier 3, not quite sure why you would want tier 3 right now, as the Archmage and the Naga Sea Witch just shy of their next levels. This is the exact situation that he doesn't want to be in, but he may get a level off of the Wisp. Nope, gets a detonation instead, as we now see the Gargantuan Sea Turtle doing a bit of creeping, but same thing here. It looks as though level 3, level 2 finally coming into play. And who will come out ahead? It looks as though... the Dark Ranger at level 2, Naga Sea Witch going to be at level 1. So it's going to be 3-2 to 2-1. As we also have a Scroll of the Beast. And that additional damage may push this DPS army simply over the edge, as they are all ranged. Dryads now coming in. Nagasiwich looking to come in as well. There is some cold arrows now being cast. All of these units are going to be forced to pull back, finish off the Sea Turtle, and now perhaps we will get a Scroll of Town Portal. Yes, defend on Footmen. There we go. Some easy damage as the units are all backed off. Ancient of Wars are going to uproot themselves, eat some trees, and then apparently try to fight back. But one Ancient of War already down to 500 hit points and quickly falling. Defend on those Footmen. The Dryads are able to fight in peace, but the Ancient of War, and there's the Scroll of the Beast. That may be too much as all of the heroes, Dryads now using Abolish Magic like mad, but that is going to also lower their DPS. A Fork Lightning not doing much. A second Ancient of War now falling. And no more Arnos. There is still one Ancient of War, as the third Ancient of War is going to fall as well. It is still heavy armor. Now finally fortified. A bear is out. Dryads. And there's a quick roar to try to counteract the roar, as Reprisal knows that he needs to attack and strike while the iron is hot, as all of his units are still buffed up right now. Rifleman now turning around, and what is going to happen here? There is no Scrolls of Healing. Both sides just turning around. Ancient of Lures are going to get taken out very, very quickly, as the Riflemen are very strong against those Dryads and those Archers. A quick silence on a couple of those units, as we now have towers being built. One poor Priest does get taken out. No more roar on any of these units. One low hit point Rifleman needs to back off. It is in a bad situation. Dryads are falling. Towers are being built. And who is going to come out ahead, as Reprisal now sitting at level 3 on his Nagasiwich with plenty of mana to spare. Druid of the Claw, very low on hit points. It does not have the bear form just quite yet, and with that, very low on hit points, as we now see even more archers low on hit points. He does not want to feed more experience to these units, as one tower is now completed. It looks like it will get canceled. There you go. But the Rifleman taking the opportunity to push in here. A low hit point, a Druid of the Claw could get focused down very quickly. Those bears, or those Druids of the Claw, need to be very careful. They're able to get some more rejuvenations off, not getting focused down. Not quite sure why. Easy pickings, especially with 2-0 upgraded Riflemen. There is a Fork Lightning, Staff of Preservation, saving the Dark Ranger, but now the armies are split. The Dark Ranger now hiding in the back over here. It is rejuvenated. The rest of the army fighting off over here. Bear form has just been completed. One bear goes down, as this fight is still raging on, and I believe that is simply gonna be it. Remind down to 43 over 50 compared to Reprisal 66 over 66. He is supply blocked, but doesn't really care. Priest are going to get focused down. Bear's now backing off again, but he is able to deal so much damage to this army at this time, as the Dark Ranger getting off another kill. Skeletal minions coming back in force, but quickly getting destroyed. And now with an Arcane Tower up, with a second one on the way, that means Arcane Feedback will eat into these bears, and that should be it. So Remind, unable to capitalize and finish off a Reprisal in Game 3 of this series. Stay tuned for Game 4.